By now we have a signature ring with a logo that we imported and some text on the opposite side to add detail to our signature. In this video we're going to add a design element by importing the golden spiral that we constructed in a previous video. And you can see a sample spiral here, but I'll hide this one now so that we can go through the process again. This video will also introduce new tools like the split body tool and the pattern tool, which we can use to do some cool stuff with our imported spiral. Last time we imported our logo and we landed it right on the origin, and we'll do the same here. Navigate to Import to Current Project. I'm going to search for my golden spiral drawing. And now when I exported my golden spiral drawing, I deleted any bodies from the drawing and only left the sketches. And that's because when I import it, I want to create the bodies in this new project. And you can see that the sketches come in and landed directly on the origin. And that means that I can totally predict how this sketch will come into this project. But it's way too big. So I'll select the sketch in the Items panel, then exit sketching to reveal the Scale tool. Now I'll move the control point to the origin because that's where I want to scale it from. Then drag the tool down to shrink the size. Now I could enter a number here, but I'll do this visually. And it might take a little bit of fiddling around, but yeah, I think that looks about right. I'd like to place this spiral on the outside of the ring, so I need to move it around a bit. But first I need to disconnect it. This allows the imported sketch to move freely. Select the sketch and then click the Disconnect tool over here in the Constraints panel. That will allow me to move it around. Then select the sketch and click the Move Rotate tool. I'll slide it outside the ring and then rotate it so that it's parallel with the face. In the original drawing, these two spiral lines are 3mm apart, but since we scaled this down, they'll be much closer, and I'd like them to be further apart. So I'll do a looped offset. Click Sketch and then Offset, and make sure the loop option is selected. I could enter a dimension, but again, I'm going to do this visually. And that looks about right. I don't need the inside lines, so I'll also quickly delete those. Now let's project that region onto the ring. Select the region and then use the Project tool to project onto the surface of the ring. And there we have our ring with one golden spiral design element. But we can do more with this. I'm going to extrude this out a bit. I'll go for 0.5mm. Now let's hide the main body of the ring to see what we have. You can see that if I hide it, the spiral disappears as well because it's been extruded from the face of the ring. We'll now use the Split Body tool to separate the ring from the spiral. From the Tools menu, click Split Body. Select the spiral and then select the face of the ring. Then click Done. In this case, we won't keep the originals. Now look what's happened here. There's the main ring and another main ring with an asterisk. Now I'll quickly rename these so that they make sense. I can now hide the main ring and see only the spiral. Notice how the effect of projecting the spiral onto the round face of the ring has resulted in an extruded body which follows the contour of the round ring. That's cool. The spiral looks like it's been twisted. Let's do something with this spiral. I'll turn the main ring body back on. Now that the spiral is its own body, we can do stuff with it independently of the main ring. For this next part, we'll use the Pattern tool to make copies of this spiral around the ring. From the Transform menu, select Pattern. Make sure that the tool is set to Circular. Then select the spiral and take a close look at these control points. We need to move this control point to the center of our pattern, and I'll drag it to the origin. Now I'll use this rotation arrow to rotate around 360 degrees, and you can start to drag it and then also just enter the number. It's defaulted to 3 items in this pattern, but you can now just keep trying different numbers to get the pattern that looks right. I'll type in 20 and see what happens. Okay, well, let's try a few others. 30 looks about right, and that looks pretty good actually. And you can experiment with different values to get different effects. Click Done when you have the number you like. You can also now hide the main ring body to see a ring made entirely of golden spirals. Now, we don't have our logo or any text on those bodies, but we could add them. I reckon that looks pretty good as it is, but I'll turn the main ring body back on. Something we also could have done is add some detail to the spiral before we created the pattern. I'll undo the pattern and zoom in on the spiral. Let's try adding a chamfer to one of the edges of the spiral. Now, exactly how this behaves when you try to add the chamfer will depend a bit on the dimensions of your spiral and how Shapr3D can interpret the chamfered edge on this spiral shape. Sometimes a chamfer simply cannot be resolved, depending on how big the chamfer is relative to the object that you're placing the chamfer onto. But using a chamfer here adds detail when the spiral bodies intersect as they are rotated. Keep in mind that this signature ring is a concept, and I'm using it here to demonstrate how to perform various functions. You might have other ideas on what you think would work as a piece of jewellery, and how you might implement a golden spiral or a golden spiral element into this ring. And of course, that's entirely up to you. In the next video, we'll give these edges some treatment to make the cylindrical shape more interesting. And if you found this video helpful, then hit the like button, leave a comment or a question, and consider subscribing for more tutorials like this one.